What's up, everybody? Kyler Gifford here, your favorite quarantined hill country realtor, coming at you from San Marcos, Texas. And I'm going to give this just a few minutes for everyone to pop in here. I may hit the intro again since no one's in here right now, so let's just give it a moment and let's see who joins up. Trevor, hello, how are you? We're just going to give everybody a few minutes to pop in here. Tam, how's it going? So that way everyone gets the vital information. Alan, how are you? And feel free if you have anything you'd like to debate with me, if you had anything you would like to add to what I'm saying, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat right here. To the right of me, I have a second screen pulled up with all types of data on it. So I'm here ready to answer any questions and give my report as to what's going on. Oh, look, my lovely wife joined us as well. Hello, beautiful. Isaac, thank you for joining. We'll give it about... Derek, how are you, bro? We'll give it about 20 more seconds to see if anyone else joins up before we get started here. Eugene, how are you? K Money, thanks, bro. Appreciate your support. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. And to reiterate, if you have any questions, any comments, any disagreements, I'm an open-minded dude. We can talk about it all. Feel free to drop it in the chat, and I'll address that. For those of you that don't know me, I am your favorite hill country realtor coming at you from the home quarantine today, as I hope everybody who's watching this video is also taking the necessary precautions to help this disease not spread, so that we can protect our elderly community and ultimately, and immunocompromised, not to leave you out, but also our economy as a whole. Because, and let me reiterate before I say anything further, I am speaking as a matter of opinion, and then if I reference any fact, I will have that over here to the side. So I'm not here to spread propaganda. I'm not here to make anyone freak out. I'm just giving one humble person's opinion. So by people not quarantining themselves and continuing to go out into the environment, we are spreading the panic. And as the panic gets spread, it is making drastic changes to our economic structure. And we're seeing this in stocks, obviously. We're seeing this in local businesses having to close down. California just passed an order that all non-essential businesses outside of necessary for survival, such as grocery stores, laundromats, gas stations, are shut down. So we are seeing a large, dramatic impact on our economy and our everyday life. Just 2 weeks ago, I was able to eat where I wanted, travel where I wanted, for the most part, do whatever I wanted like I would any normal day. 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have this video to make on how COVID-19 was affecting our real estate market. But nonetheless, here we are. And the first thing I want to start off by talking about is a big question that I've seen a lot of people having is, how is this affecting real estate interest rates? And the reason I keep peering off screen is I have a second screen pulled up right here. So these are not my numbers. These are numbers that I am pulling off of. This particular website is ycharts.com, and I'm happy to share that link with you should you want it. So we are seeing an interesting fluctuation in interest rates, and I've heard loan officers say this is a volatile time for home interest rates. One moment they can be as low as 3.4%, and the next moment they can be as high as 4.2, 4.3. So if you hear loan officers or people talking about locking in your rates, you could take it as a salesman tactic, sure, but they are also, in my opinion, most time looking out for your best interest, because they are seeing on the back end what we don't see, and that is literally just like the stock market, moment to moment fluctuations. That could be a matter of a whole percent in your interest rate. And now this side over here on Y charts. So as of today, let's see here. And this website now I'm going to quote is bankrate.com. Today's nationwide average for 30-year interest rates is 4.05%. Yesterday, it was 3.65. And across the board, going back a few months, the beginning of March was 3.45. The beginning of February was also 3.45. But the beginning of January was 3.7. So we're actually seeing a small decrease. Now, I'm not going to bore you with any more numbers, but ultimately we are seeing fluctuations in interest rates, and I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell the future, so I don't know where it's going to go ultimately. But we're also seeing a couple of other things in regards to the lending institutions. We are seeing a delay in how fast banks, loan officers, financial institutions can fund loans in order for people to buy homes. And why does that serve as an interesting point? Well, normally as a realtor, if I'm working with the buyer who has a conventional FHA loan, a conventional or FHA loan, different products, I would tell them that we would be safe putting in 30 days from the time we write that contract till the time they receive the keys. 30 days is what I would normally tell my clients. Now, I am receiving instruction and guidance from my trusted loan officers that the new norm needs to be 45 to 60 days. For what reason? Appraisers are being delayed. Not in the system isn't stopping, but things are just slowing down because the demand is either increasing or staying the same, and people getting sick, people quarantining, businesses shutting down, businesses going to remote styles of work are causing the system to kind of clog up a little bit. So this presents a very interesting opportunity for people who are cash buyers. And now I'm going to pin it there. I see a bunch of new people have joined, so if you have any questions, any comments, any disagreements, anything, drop it in the chat and I'm happy to address that or give you further guidance. So why does this serve as a good opportunity for cash buyers? Well, let me input this. I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to play on the hardships, because I'm not going to tell people how to go steal people's homes. But it's simply a matter of people using financing or people using cash to buy homes who are regular people who are wanting to sell their homes for normal reasons. Okay? That's all I'm talking about here. As a cash buyer, in the market, you always have a benefit to when you go against people who are using loans. With cash, you have less hoops to jump through. You don't have to face appraisal issues. You don't have to get inspections. You don't have to do anything. You pay for the house what you want to pay for the house regardless of what's going on. And it most oftentimes means a quicker close date. Somewhere between 7 and 15 days, as opposed to the average 30 days. Well, we're seeing a lot of people getting pushed back in the financial institutions. So cash buyers, right now, you have a particularly unique opportunity in that your competition is very, very minimal. There, if people are getting approved for homes, if you go in there, even as a cash buyer, if you want a month-long closing date, you are still ahead of the curve. You are still extremely competitive and still extremely sought after. And with appraisals being pushed back, you don't have to face appraisal issues. So, that is how I believe cash buyers have a unique opportunity given the current situation. Now, for people using a loan, don't get offended should your realtor, if you are someone who's going to reach out to a realtor for the very first time, don't get offended if they want you to get pre-approved prior to showing a home to you. You might think, hey, I don't know you, I haven't met you, or maybe I know you fairly little, maybe I don't like this home, maybe I don't want to get pre-approved. Well, we're seeing sellers also being far more weary of letting people come into their homes. Rightfully so. So if your realtor asks you to get pre-approved prior to showing, we're seeing listing agents and sellers wanting to be more thorough about who they're letting in their home and making sure that if they are taking the risk for themselves, it is a person who is actually qualified to buy this home. So please don't take any offense if a fellow realtor is asking you of such a thing. Now, let's talk about this from the seller side of the market. How is this affecting sellers? Again, one person's opinion, one realtor's opinion, so I can't speak for every single person's experience. But overall, what I am seeing, due to the fact that lending institutions are taking longer to fund loans, we are seeing a longer average days on market. Now, some homes, if they're priced right, if they're in a great location, they're not really being affected. But let's call it 70 to 80% of the average homes out there. We're seeing less showings, which is resulting in less offers, which is resulting in, unfortunately, possibly lower offers. Now, again, I can't speak emphatically, but I'm saying that I personally am noticing that sort of trend. I also see something very interesting that could present itself here. We're going to have a delay in funding, which means we're going to have a delay in how quickly homes are selling, which in my opinion could potentially discourage people from listing their homes. Well, this again serves a very, very, very unique opportunity, even for sellers, because you're going to have little to no competition. When everyone else is not listing their homes because of what's going on, if you decide to list your home, the available pool of inventory is going to be less. So, really, and again, out of fear of sounding insensitive, I'm still going to speak frankly. This is not a bad time to try to sell or buy real estate. And again, not prying on people who are facing hardships, but people who want or need to sell or buy a home. Regardless of what's happening in the world, people have to move. People have to sell. People have to buy. So I'm looking to help those people and enlighten those people. I'm not a shark, and I don't support the sharks who like to pry on people having hardships. So if you're someone looking for a shark, you haven't found him. I am a human trying to help my fellow human accomplish their goals. So I've done a lot of talking. There must be, and I have a lot of people watching right now, there must be somebody with a question. Hit me with it if you got it. Oh, hello, Teo. Thank you for the love. Appreciate that. No questions. All right, well, I really hope someone drops a question, a comment, something, because I know they're out there. It's a very, very, very confusing time. But if no one has any questions, I'll go ahead and wrap up everything we talked about. If you have a question still, feel free to post it. I'll stop. In conclusion, COVID-19 is, without a doubt, affecting our real estate market. It is affecting it in both positive and negative ways, as every disadvantage plants the seed of an equivalent advantage. The disadvantages are, if you're trying to get a loan to buy a home, expect delays. Expect, instead of 30 days, expect 45 to 60 days to be funded. Funded means you've gotten the loan, you own the home, you got the keys. What that means for sellers. Sellers, be patient. Right now, it is not your real estate agent's fault that your home is not being sold. Buyers are weary, and they have every right to be, understandably, in the uncertainty that our world is currently in. So sellers, be patient with your realtors. They are doing everything they can, and I promise you, they want to protect you. So, if you see your home sitting on the market, don't worry, there are still buyers out there. Cash buyers. You are in a unique scenario in that your competition, actual equitable offers, if you're in a multiple offer situation, even if you are the only person putting in an offer, your offer is worth gold right now, because you don't have to face appraisals, you don't have to face inspections, should you choose not to, and you also can close fast. So cash buyers, know that you have the power right now over sellers. With that in mind, sellers, if you have a cash buyer come to you, even if their offer is a little lower than what you were thinking in your mind your home was worth, do what you can to find that middle ground. Don't get offended. Don't push them away. Right now, cash buyers are going to make this market. Make them your friend. Cash buyers, know the power you have right now. Arguably, it is the most power you've had in a decade or more. Let that sink in, please. We could also see, in conclusion, a time in the next 2 to 3 months where prices drastically shift down, which, in one person's opinion, I think we could stand to see. I think our market between Austin and San Antonio has been in a bubble. Some experts, not this guy, some experts in the financial world have coined the Austin to San Antonio corridor as recession-proof. That is both an encouraging and discouraging idea. When we think we're invincible, people start to make very, very silly decisions. So I, for one, am happy in a way to see a bubble pop, because it's going to have the equilibrium. We've been in a seller's market for a long time now, and I'm happy to see the buyers have some power back. The buyers deserve some power. So, cash buyers, you are powerful. And also to air my concern for the public, please do what you can. Please. If you are somebody who thinks that there is nothing going on, I caution you to rethink that logic. Also, I'm not saying to be on the other end of the extreme where you're preparing for Armageddon. I'm not telling you not to. Do what you will. I'm just telling you to please be aware and please be conscious, especially at this time, of how your actions affect your fellow human being. And if you're someone who's healthy between the age of 14 and 49, don't be careless because you're not the target market of this disease. Remember, your elderly brothers and sisters and immunocompromised brothers and sisters are who this disease is gunning for. So play your part. Do what you have to do so that we don't get forced to do more. If we as a society can come together and do what we must, this thing could blow over and we could have a peaceful turnout. And in the meantime, if you are looking for someone to help you buy or sell a home in this interesting and unique time in our society, I would love the opportunity to help you in that. I refrain from being pushy. I respect boundaries, especially in this time. If we must bow and curtsy, we can do everything digitally. I want to keep you safe. So I'm going to sit here in silence for about 30 seconds, just in case anybody has any closing questions or comments. And if not, I'm going to sign off. I guess while we wait for questions, I did get some new business cards. Tell me what you think about those. Oh. Final call for questions, comments, or concerns. Oh, great question from my lovely wife. Thank you for your participation and support. And it's a great question. She asked, what is the best way, in my opinion, to keep up with interest rates during this time? The internet? Loan officers? So, both. Loan officers are a great resource to keep up with interest rates because they are actively involved in that market. Now, it's where loan officers kind of lose their strength in that is they are, unless they're looking at the same resources that you can look at, they are working with one lending institution that has their rates, which, rates typically stay pretty close from institution to institution. So having a loan officer you trust to have these conversations with, yes, definitely. And if you need those contacts, I have contacts with loan officers that share the same business principles as me, that you can call them on their cell phone, you could text them. They are wonderful, responsive human beings. Now, what else you can do to keep up, and I'll go ahead and share this site with you. It's called ycharts.com. They have charts for all types of stuff, but they are putting out a report every 7 days for national averages. And most loan officers, if they're going to do that, they are going to, they're going to find a site like this. So finding a loan officer you trust coupled with a site such as this. And I went ahead and dropped it in the comments. Should you want to see it. Cameron, Misty, Zoe, thank you for joining. Any other questions? You've got a knowledgeable, experienced realtor here who is giving you free information. live. Ask me anything. For those of you just joining, we've just talked about a lot of stuff that took 20 minutes, so I can't necessarily go back and recoup. But should you have any questions regarding COVID-19 and how it's affecting our real estate market, please ask them now because I'm going to sign off shortly. Anybody? Questions? Comments? Concerns? Well, is anybody currently a homeowner who's watching this video? Oh, look at the kitty. Is anybody looking to buy a home who's watching this video? Is that a curiosity? Whether you're wanting to work with me or not, is anyone working with the realtor trying to buy a home, and is anybody listed with the realtor trying to sell their home? All right, well, since the chat is quiet, I'm going to go ahead and just to reiterate that final conclusion, amazing time for cash buyers. Amazing. You are powerful. You are everything this market needs right now. If you are looking to make a cash investment, or if you just have the ability to purchase yourself a home in cash, now is the time to do so. Sellers, be patient with your realtors. This market is weird and there are a lot of unknown factors. If a cash buyer comes to you with an offer, do what you can within reasonable means to make them your friend, to make them not get away. Even if the offer is a little less than you were expecting, remember that one in the hand is better than two in the bush. And cash buyers, with everything that's going on right now with funding institution delays, cash buyers are the superheroes. And as we trench forward in this world of uncertainty, know that I, Kyler Gifford, am here for you. If any of your questions did not get answered on this video, you can go to my website, KylerGiffordRealtor.com. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube at Kyler Gifford Realtor, and reach out to me anytime, day or night, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to have a phone chat, I'm welcome to do that. I'm open to do that as well. So for now, everyone stay safe out there. Please do what you can to stop the spread of this virus, and just know that we will all be okay. The Creator put nothing on this creation that we as its creation cannot handle. We will make it through.